Hello and welcome. In this video, you'll see me do up another planter that I purchased at a Ross. I don't really go out of my way to look for anything specific because I never know what I'm gonna find. So I don't shop for plants or anything I need for them with anything in mind. I just kind of rely on the element of surprise to inspire my creativity. So here I have the Mount Everest Big Blue Chalk Sticks, and I'm kind of just setting up my planter before I take the plants out and put them in there. I'm kind of just organizing them and deciding how I want it to look and where I want things to go. And in a bit, I'm going to show you the names, but you can't really see them all very well, so I took the liberty of writing them all down. So that one is the Cedium Firestorm, and then the Pacivaria Nate Almas, and then there I have the Crassula ovata Humlo Sunset. Those are super pretty. I try to show the name in there, but it didn't really come out that well. You can kind of see it, but you really gotta, it's kind of blurry. But yeah, so I'm just putting everything in there and kind of deciding where I want to put everything. Oh, I have the name there, but let's see. I can't see it. Oh well. I'm sure someone out there knows what they are. So here I'm just taking them out because I kind of decided where I wanted to put everything. And I don't know if I mentioned the Aeonium Mardi Gras there. I made this video a while ago and the planter still looks really good. I'll eventually make another video of another tour of the backyard because I've added a lot of new things to the backyard, made a lot of changes. So here I'm just taking the Aeonium out of the planter and I'm just kind of taking the excess soil off around it because I already have a lot of soil in the planter. So I kind of do this with a lot of the succulents that I get. I kind of just, I'll either like break them apart or I will like take off a lot of the root ball because these plants can survive with, and you can just rip apart the roots and they won't care as long as you don't get them wet and you let them dry out and they won't rot. They're pretty hardy plants, and that's why I like working with them so much because I'm still fairly new to the plant game here. So I'm just going with what I'm comfortable with at the moment. But yeah, succulents are super hardy and you can rip them apart within reason, of course. I mean, you can't break the branches and expect them to grow back roots every time, but and here looks like I pulled up a branch or some kind of yeah, that was in the planter and it had like a little baby sprouts on it with the roots. I put it to the side and I tried to plant it and see if I could grow anything off of it, but it didn't work. So I didn't leave that in this planter here. It was pretty interesting. I'd never seen anything like that before in the plants that I've bought. So yeah, I put that to the side and I just kind of working the Aeonium in here with the chalk sticks and just making sure it's in there good. And there is the Hummel Sunset. It doesn't look like I broke it apart. Looks like I just I broke the bottom half of the root ball off, so I didn't have to work with so much of the soil. It's easier to plant stuff like this when you don't have to worry about, hurting the plant so much. You can just kind of tease it and work around it as much as you want. So, yeah. And here I'm putting another sunset. I really like this crassula. I like the yellow and the green, the bright contrast of colors. And there's the sedum sunset. Just kind of placing them kind of randomly, but at the same time I'm considering like how everything's going to grow. Like I know the chalk sticks are going to get really tall and the aeonium's going to grow tall, so I have that in front. And then the crassula and the sedums, I'm kind of going in order by how everything grows. So the tall stuff goes in the back, and then the smaller succulents go in the front because they aren't really going to grow too much. And I know eventually, these plants are going to get kind of leggy, and so I'll have to pull them out and reset them eventually. But for now, this works well. It stays looking pretty nice for a while. So I didn't mention these earlier in the video, but they're called aloe hybrid mini bells. There, that one had a lot of roots. That was so root bound. Yeah, so I ended up breaking it up and cutting a lot of the roots off of that one because wow, it had so many roots. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like when I get some of these plants from the stores, I feel like I'm saving them. Because some of them, the root balls are just drenched in water, or they have no water, and there's so much roots that you can't even see any dirt. It's just you get a little bit of everything. And there I'm putting in the Pacuvaria nealmas. Those, I believe, the root ball and those were super drenched. I mean, I was squeezing the soil and the roots. The water was just like dripping out like a wet rag. So yeah, I definitely ripped apart the root balls and allowed some air to get to the plant and the soil and all that. So I'm putting in more Pachyvarias there. See, I don't know. When I was doing this, when I make most of my planters, I just I'm trying to channel my creativity, I'm trying to be mindful of how everything's going to look and think about how everything's going to grow out and just trying to make it look nice. Yeah, I don't know what else really to say about that one. But I'm just kind of tucking in more nealmas. Looks like those had a lot of roots too. Actually, I just recently looked at the planter yesterday, and the nealmas are already like growing so much. Like you can see the trunk, like they have pretty thick little trunks already, and they're growing. So very interesting. We definitely like the weather out here in Arizona. They're also kind of protected in partial shade in the afternoon. So yeah, looks like I'm putting in more firestorms, just tucking those around. And looks like I'm trying to be careful because I do have a little bit of a pokey plant there that I'm trying to build around. But it's not that bad. It's not like a cactus or anything, or like a euphorbia. It's kind of pokey, but it's not too bad. I'd be more concerned about, putting succulents around it and just kind of like breaking into the leaves and exposing them. There, I'm trying to figure out what kind of fiberglass I'm gonna put in there, and it looks like I picked one. It was the clear colored fiberglass there. I've been finding a lot of clearance fiberglass at Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's. I don't know why. It's kind of weird, but I have a few different colors now of clearance fiberglass. I didn't really go out of my way to look for it either. It was just kind of there, and I was so surprised because it's kind of expensive as full price. To me, it is anyway. And so when I saw it on clearance, I was really excited. It's like, I need to get this right now. So there, I'm just kind of putting the fiberglass wherever there's dirt. And, you don't really have to use fiberglass. I mean, I'm just using it because I found it. Sometimes I use, Dollar Tree rocks, or, it doesn't really matter to me. It just kind of whatever is inspiring me that day, and whatever I think will work and what I think will look good with what I'm making, I guess. So, yeah. See what I'm showing. These little pieces that I got in my leftovers. Right there. And I think this is the end of the video. Just kind of plucking all the loose dirt out of the fiberglass, I think, here. And now to a close-up. And that's it. Thanks for watching.